So we are here at the Everglades Safari Park. Never been to the Everglades before. This is our first time. Over here is the safari restaurant. It says they serve breakfast and lunch. Lots of birds, which I'm not a big fan of myself, but if you like birds, plenty of birds. That is the souvenir shop. Some outdoor seating for the restaurant. It says they are currently not doing indoor seating, but you can go in and order your food and then you can take it outside. And we are here on August 14th, 2020. So there's still COVID restrictions in place. The restrooms this way. And men's are back here. Don't trespass. Currently we are just waiting for our tour. They said it'd be 30 minutes or less from the time we checked in, so hopefully it's not too much longer. The sun is very hot. We did find a good deal on Groupon for the tickets. I don't remember exactly. I'll have to check and look and see how much it was, but definitely got a good deal. We bought a 2-person deal and then a 1-person deal because there are 3 of us. So yeah, I'm excited. We'll see what it's like.
This is a show where I'm only going to talk about their characteristics and behavior. And these guys have been in captivity their whole life, so they're really used to us. So this is kind of a natural behavior. We come in here daily, we feed these guys and interact with them, so they know why we're here. Some of them also know their names too that we give them. So I'll tell you about the ones in the wild, how their behavior compares to captive ones, and the laws about being around wild ones as well. We have 4 of them in here. The biggest one in the corner is Greedy. This is Chubbs, Rocky, and Buster. Age-wise, Buster, he's around 25 years old. Big guy over 4 years old. And we purchased these alligators at a reptile store. We didn't pull them from the wild. And we have them here for educational shows. They don't live in this area forever. We rotate them out here on a regular basis. When they retire from our park, we donate them to a zoo. Zoo Miami, Gatorland in Central Florida. It is highly illegal to release these animals into the wild because they're not afraid of people. So by law, they have to stay in captivity. In captivity here, we feed them mainly a diet of fish and chicken with bone. In the wild here in South Florida, they love fish and turtles, but these are opportunistic animals. They'll eat a water snake, a smaller alligator, a bird, an otter. However, they don't eat as frequently as humans because they sit around a little bit more than we do. So the less an animal species moves around, the less they're going to eat. The more often an animal moves, the more often they'll eat. So if one of these guys wants to eat a big fish or a turtle when it's hot out like this, that meal might last them up to a week. In the winter time here, maybe even up to a month. But regarding alligators, now they're alligators, but they're under an order called crocodilian, and there's actually 24 types of these animals. They're found all over the world, places that are warm near the equator. So there's 2 species of alligators on the planet. These are American alligators. There's one in China, the Chinese alligator. There's 15 species of crocodiles around the world. We have one in the Everglades, the American crocodile. There are 6 species of caiman, which are in the alligator family, and you find caiman throughout Central, South America, parts of the Caribbean. And then there's one called a gharial, and they're native to India, Pakistan, Nepal, and Bangladesh. And they have the skinniest, narrowest snout I've ever known. Rocky, are you mad at me because I made him get out of the water today? I had to clean this little pond, so these guys are a little bit upset with me and made him move around a little bit. But they have a long life. They can't live as long as humans. The oldest in captivity is around 80 years old. Their eyes also sink into their skull for protection. You see they go completely flat within the skull. That's normal for protection. They also have another eyelid they use when they go under the water. It's called a nictitating membrane. That's so they have some visibility and a little bit of protection under the water. Their ears, if you look right behind their eyes, you're going to see a little slit, a little opening. That's their ears. Just a little flap of skin they can open and close it when they go into the water. But alligators are probably the most vocal of any reptiles. They're always talking to each other, hissing and bellowing and growling and grunting. And then all the bumps you see on their back, those are called osteoderms. Osteo meaning bone, derm meaning skin. So they're individual pieces of bone that float in a little layer of skin above their backbone. Bone, so it's tough, it's almost like armor for them, and they also act like solar panels. They sit in the sun, they absorb a ton of heat, the heat gets pushed to their body, helps them digest a meal or gives them energy. They're much smaller than this. They pop out of the size of like a chicken egg. When they're that tiny, everything wants to eat them. 1 in 10 survive on average. Fish will eat a baby alligator. Birds eat them, other alligators, and more. So mom loves her babies, and the babies naturally follow their mom around for some protection for an average of 5 to 6 minutes.
I guess it does go all the way around there, but there wasn't anything out there, so plus like that's all in the sun.
more. I am just joking. Please don't get in the water. Just joking. Actually, folks, what we do right now is we stop for a brief second just to give you some information on the Everglades. You're more than welcome to stand up, take advantage of the scenery, take as many pictures and videos as you like, as I explain a little bit about the Everglades and how it works. Now, folks, most people, when they do come out here, they think they're going to run into one big swamp. As you can see around us, this is not a swamp. It's actually a river. It's the slowest moving river in the U.S., moving about 1 mile every 24 hours. That's because of all the vegetation that you see around us. All this grass will slow down the water quite a bit. Now, all the water surrounding the boat right now, this is all freshwater, rainwater. All this water starts up by Kissimmee, Florida, the Orlando area, and that's north of where we're at right now. There is a huge lake out there called Lake Okeechobee. Once it fills up with rainwater, it will overspill, pushing all of its water south to where we're at right now. And from here, the water will continue moving south another couple of miles until it hits a Florida Bay where it's going to enter the Gulf. Now, this water, very important out here, especially for some of the people that live in the surrounding areas. Some of the native Floridians out here actually use this dirty, muddy water, believe it or not, as drinking water or bathing water. Now, it does filter through different layers of the grass, mud, dirt, and rock. And there is one rock out here, which is pretty much the grounds of the Everglades, the limestone. Now, once the water's done filtering through this rock out here, water management out there, they're going to pick it up, they're going to filter it some more, basically make it safe to drink, and then at that point, they will send it out through the pumps to your homes and hotels for use. Now, the grass that you see to our left-hand side, this is very important as well. Not only does it filter the water, that grass is actually edible. If you come out here and you get lost, stranded, or stuck, and you go hungry, all you have to do is pluck the grass out of the water, and you can eat the root or the stem to survive out here, as did the last known tribe that used to live on the island just to the right-hand side. Folks, that long island right there, about 85 years ago, there was a tribe that used to occupy the island. Their last name was Tiger Tail, and they were part of the Miccosukee tribe. To survive on the island, again, they would eat things like grass. Now, besides grass, they would also eat things like fish, birds, turtles, snakes, and tourists to survive on the island. Now, we normally have about 300 different types of birds that will visit us, especially during the winter season, come out here and lay their eggs. And we also have everyone's favorite animal out here as well, the snakes. So everybody like snakes? No? Too bad. Because we do have about 27 of those. 18 live right here in this water and in this grass. Do not be alarmed or surprised if you see 1 or 2 boarding the boat to stay dry. It happens. Now, out of the 18 that do live in there, folks, 4 are very deadly. Eastern diamondback rattlesnake, pygmy rattlesnake, water moccasin, and coral snake. And we also have the Burmese python that can reach a length as far as this boat right here. Very bad for the environment. At this time, does anybody have any questions? No question. Perfect. We still have 23 hours and 30 minutes. 24-hour tour. No? All right, I'll leave you with this before we take off. Everglades are approximately 80% water, 20% land. The river does stretch from north to south 300 miles. It is about 60 miles wide. Everglades consist of 1.5 million acres, and we also have about 1.5 million alligators in all of the Everglades. You folks ready to try and find those alligators?
Yes.
All right, we're going to head this way. Hold on to those hats. Left-hand side over here, you're going to see a little mound right here of grass and mud. You can stand up to get a better view. Don't worry about the upholstery, you won't mess it up. That is an alligator's nest right there, folks. That right there to the left. Now, the female that does protect this little area, she's going to have anywhere from 20 to about 30 babies in that nest. But only 20% of them will ever see the wild. The other 80% will be eaten up by another alligator, snake, or bird. Now, the female that does protect this area, she's only about 4 feet long. Now, females, they can reach a length of about 8 feet. While the males, 11 feet or larger. We actually have an alligator out here right now. I haven't seen him in a
face
couple
right
hours.
there?
His name is Stumpy. He's about 10 feet, 2 inches long. Now, 4 years ago, we did have another alligator out here. His name was Monster. He was so big, people thought he was fake. He was 14 feet, 5 inches long, but one day, Monster decided to cross the road as a BMW was coming down the road. BMW crashed into him, totaled the BMW. Alligator jumped in the water. We never saw him again. Now, their main diet consists of fish, turtles, tourists, and birds, so don't fall in the water. And they can't swim as fast as 17 miles an hour, run as fast as 15 miles an hour, and they can stay underwater for up to 4 hours at a time. Now, usually, she's just to the left of the nest, but I don't see her right now. She's probably out. Is she there?
She's right, like dead center.
She's just behind the nest. There she is. Right there. Yeah, if you stand up, you can catch a glimpse of her. She's just behind the nest over there to the left of the nest. to the right-hand side, you're gonna notice some fruits hanging off the tree. These are pond apples and they are edible. They're very sour, very bitter, but you can't eat them to survive out here. Now from this point on, I'm going to go rather slow. You can stand up to get a better view of the alligators you may see out here. Keep an eye for them in the water, and especially in between the little islands here. It's nice and warm. That's where you're most likely gonna find them today.